Another guest on Fox News, another abortive disaster. This is Scott Turner, the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development under Donald Trump. He went on Fox News and was asked by Maria Bartiromo what is actually a really good question. I don't know that I'd call it a good job, but she stumbles across a good question here, which is Scott Turner is talking about how undocumented immigrants are getting mortgages in the United States. And Maria Bartiromo asks a great question. How does an undocumented immigrant get a mortgage? Here is his answer.
Your department is also probing how illegal immigrants have put a strain on the housing market. What can you tell us? You signed a memorandum with the DHS to end wasteful misappropriation of taxpayer money.
Absolutely.
For, quote, illegal alien exploitation of housing programs. You're also working with the Federal Housing Administration to crack down on government-backed mortgages for illegals. How do they get a mortgage if you're...
Great question, Maria. Let's hear his answer.
...actually illegal in the country?
Now, before he says anything, how many of you think he's going to answer the question?
Well, Maria, during the Biden administration, there were over 12 million illegal aliens that came over the border, straining our housing supply and making the costs go up. And so we worked with Secretary Noem at DHS, as you alluded to make sure that only American citizens are living in HUD-funded housing. We also took away FHA-backed mortgages from illegal aliens during the Biden administration. They turned a blind eye. But we're going to keep the law to make sure that these mortgages, which are backed by the taxpayer, go only to the American people. And lastly, we are mandating that every public housing authority give us a comprehensive account who's living in every unit.
So he said a lot there, but he didn't answer the question, how do undocumented immigrants get a mortgage? Now, let me give you the real answer. It's very similar to how do undocumented non-citizens vote in the United States. The answer is they don't. Undocumented immigrants can't get a federally backed mortgage. They can't access Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. Banks require legal identification. Mortgage applications include a requirement for a social security number. They have citizenship and residency questions and checks. Undocumented immigrants don't qualify for the standard mortgage system. There is no program that allows undocumented immigrants to get a mortgage. Even private mortgages require ID and proof of residency. So this is just completely and totally made up out of thin air, which is their favorite. How are undocumented immigrants getting mortgages? Well, Maria, 12 million people came here last year illegally. Okay. And how are they getting mortgages? Well, Maria, we had a problem under Biden. Okay. And how do undocumented immigrants get mortgages? We're going to get a list of everybody living in subsidized housing. Okay. And how do they don't have an answer because there is no answer.